Hello. Happy Friday. Although, I'll be honest with you, I'm totally confused as to what day of the week it is because I took yesterday and today off to be home with the kids. And so yeah, every day is kind of a glorious blur to me. But one thing I am sure of is that I am totally missing spring and summer and warm weather right now. So we're going to kind of do like a bronzy boho vibe today. And hi Suzanne, hi Morgan. So we're going to kind of do like a bronzy boho vibe today to get me through the winter doldrums that I find myself in at the moment. Let's see, I deepened my root yesterday because I just could not take how platinum I was. Hi Danielle. And so now I'm having a hard time adjusting back to a darker root, but such is life when you're a woman, like you're just never satisfied with anything. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go in with Touch Glorious Primer and just put like a pea-sized amount of that on my skin so that my makeup goes on perfectly and flawlessly. Then you just kind of rub it in like a moisturizer. And I don't have a... Hold on, I need a... Hi Margie. I need a... What do I need? I need a washcloth to wipe my hands. The benefit of having a bathroom attached to this room. Okay, so the one thing you want to know about your, hi Dylan, about your primer is that you want it to sit on your face, hi, for about 5 minutes to acclimate to your skin before you start putting makeup on top of it. Okie dokie. So we're going to do just like a really kind of pretty boho glammy vibe today using a lot of neutral colors. These are the 3 eyeshadows that I picked out for today. I picked out Discreet, which is like this really pretty ballet slipper pink. Manipulative, which is sort of like a penny color. It's got a little bit of metallic in it. And then Marvelous, which is like this pretty chocolate brown. Okie dokie. So let's see what foundation I'm going to use. I'm going to use Eyelet Liquid Foundation, and I am going to blend it in with my powder concealer brush. Granted, this is meant for powder. Dylan, what are you doing? This brush is meant for powder foundations, but I absolutely love the way that it distributes my liquid foundation. And I have a visitor in here at the moment, if you couldn't tell. Alright, so I'm just going in straight. I exfoliated my skin this morning when I took a shower and moisturized it and put rose water toner on it, so everything should just go on pretty much just like butter. You should be exfoliating your skin twice a week. Now that we are in like the true dead of winter, your skin needs to essentially be renewed about every 3 days. So figure twice a week, aim for a really good exfoliation, followed by a really deep moisturizing lotion or serum on top of that. If you have any questions about skincare or anything like that, we have the greatest skincare, and I would be very happy to talk about it with you. Okay, so this is our liquid foundation in the shade Eyelet. It's a pretty good match for me, even though it's super pale time of year for me. So I'm going to take this powder concealer brush and I'm basically just going to stipple it into my skin and buff it out. And that's my favorite part of using this brush, is that it blends it out really effortlessly. And if you're in a rush to go fast, you're not going to see any sort of like lines, creasing. It basically just takes care of it so well. And you can blend it down your neck. Dylan, I think she wants to be left alone, doll.
But I love her.
I know you love her, and she loves you, but there are some times where Mina just kind of wants to hang out and take a nap. You have to respect that, okay?
But I like to hide her when she's sleeping.
I know, you love to snuggle her. Alright, so just pressing this all in. And you can see how fast this goes when you use this. So our liquid foundation is full coverage, And beyond that, it kind of dries to a matte finish. So it kind of gives you that like powdery finish when you're all said and done. Okay. We are all blended in perfectly. Make sure you hit your neck. It's like super, super important. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Skin Perfecting Concealer in Scarlet, and we're just going to go ahead and brighten and lighten our face up. I put a really tiny amount of it on my skin, or on the back of my hand, and I spread it out with a concealer brush so that I get a thin coating of it and I don't apply too much. This stuff is very, very strong, so you don't need a ton of it. And you don't want it to sit in your fine lines and creases. So using a tool like a concealer brush is going to help you to achieve that. Maybe Chase will play the monster truck game with you. Or Gran Turismo.
No, you said the monster truck game.
Well, maybe he'll play the monster truck game. What about Mario Kart? Do you have Mario Kart?
No.
Oh.
On the big TV?
On the Man Den TV.
Down the man cave?
Yes, in the man cave.
I don't have Mario down there.
Oh, okay. Alright, so everywhere that I'm putting the concealer is where I want it to be nice and light and bright. And that's going to help to contour my face. So this is technically my highlight. Okay, and then I'm going to take the flat side of my blending bud. Could you not undo that whole bed that I just made, sir? And I'm just pressing that concealer into my skin and sort of like blending out the edges of it so that you really can't see where the concealer starts and stops. And just kind of like this pressing motion does the trick. And I still have a little concealer left over in the back of my hand. Dill, please be good. Okay?
I don't mess up.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, is that pumpkin? You better go look. Maybe it's pumpkin.
Let me see. Nope, pumpkin's not out there.
Pumpkin's not out there. All right. So the beauty of using damp blending bud is that everything blends out really smoothly, but also that's kind of the benefit of using all one line of products. Dylan, could you please be quiet for me, love? Thank you. That's also the beauty of using one line of products, is that everything is built to go together, and it really helps when you have that sort of blendability to lean on. All right, so concealer is all on, everything is blended in, and we're going to go ahead and set everything now with a setting powder. Touch Behold setting powder. It's a translucent, really finely milled powder that is going to make your concealer stay nice and light and bright all day long. In addition, what do you got on your mouth? Okay, super. Can you go downstairs now? Dylan? Jacob. You're killing me, Smalls. Stop spitting. I don't think it's funny. Margie, I can't. I just can't. He's too cute to get mad at, but he knows it. I see your foot. So anyway, the translucent powder. The benefit of this is it's super finely milled, so it's kind of works like a blurring powder. So if you have like larger pores and things, It, how does it work? It erases everything and blurs that out. Alright, so now we're going to just set the rest of our makeup with Crepe powder foundation, and I'm going to go in with that same powder concealer brush that I used for my liquid foundation and just do a really light coverage of that, and that's going to set my liquid foundation and give me just a pinch more coverage, in addition to the fact that it's going to give me that like perfect airbrush finish. And it's going to set the makeup so that it does not move at all during the day. All right. So now that we have kind of erased the high points and the low points of our face with concealer, lots of layers. Layers are good. Layers keep things in place. You want to start with creams and liquids, and then you want to move on to powders, because powders set creams and liquids so that they don't move. Humidity can't budge them. Precipitation, oil, moisture, sweat, things like that won't move. All right, so this is another powder foundation. This is in the shade Gingham, which is about 3 shades darker than my normal skin tone. And I'm going to use this as a contour powder. So just going in at the top of your ear, blending down to the corner of your mouth, and blending in is going to sort of pop out that cheekbone. But the trick is not a lot of product, but a lot of blending. That's one of my favorite tips, and the best part about using a high quality makeup like this is that you don't need a lot of it because they're hyperpigmented. So a little bit goes a long way, and then you're not sort of trying to figure out what to do with all these gobs of product that you have on your face, because you don't need that much. I used to go through a tube of concealer every 4 to 6 weeks before, because it just was not strong enough to do the job, so I kept having to reapply it to get the desired look. And at the end of the day, it ended up looking worse because, hi Tara, because your skin, like your fine lines and creases, are going to absorb all of those layers. You're not going to know what to do with it, and then you're going to notice things like that more. So less is truly more. And then I'm going to use that same powder concealer brush to just kind of contour in the sides of my nose, warm them up a little bit, and just like tailor in the sides of my nose. And then I just blend it out so that it's not like harsh. Just want that little shadow bit. Hi Sam. I sent a bride to you, getting married next May at the Grandview. She's a boho queen. Can you hide wrinkles in turkey bottleneck? You can hide turkey bottleneck, trust me. Contour, shadows, and highlights are everything. Absolutely everything. Okay. All right, so that is the contour and the highlight section. I am going to add a little bit of bronzer and sunset because I like the glow that bronzer gives me. I used to use bronzer exclusively for highlight and contour, but I've moved away from it a little bit because I wanted less glow and more shade. But I do use it still. I just use less of it. But bronzer is going to sort of give you that, like, I've been on vacation, I have that rested glow from within sort of look about you that everybody's after, especially this time of year. All right, so now we're going to do blush, and I'm going to go in with something like, let's do something seductive. I like Seductive. Seductive is a really pretty mauvey pink, perfect for like a nice boho sort of neutral glam. So it's got a lot of color in it, but I'm going to show you, it does not go on this kind of bright. So we're just going to take this and dust it right on the top of that bronzer, sort of where your cheekbone sits. And I tend to kind of stipple it on because I like to build the color very, very softly. I like to see it a little bit more up here and a little less on the apple of my cheek. And then my other secret is take a big fluffy powder brush with nothing on it and just diffuse it out. Especially your blush, it's important to see, but you want it to be really subtle. So I always take and diffuse out my blush. This has nothing on it. It's just a big fluffy powder brush. Okay. So now we're going to go in and do our eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is go in with Discreet, which is this really pretty like ballet slipper pink. And it's a great transition color because it just adds a very like elegant softness to your eye. And it's great for blending colors together. So I'm just using my Younique fluffy powder brush. There's a lot of noise coming from the first floor of this house. I'm waiting for tears any minute. So I'm going all the way from my lash line up to my brows with the Discreet. And then I'm going to go in with some of this color, which is called Marvelous. And I'm going to put a very little bit. These colors are super hyperpigmented. Most of these I've had for at least 6 months or a year, and they don't show the wear very much because literally all you do is touch it. And there's enough on there to give you color. So I'm just diffusing this into the crease of my eye because I want a very soft look. I don't want a really harsh, shadowy, dark look. And repeat on this eye. And the more you blend it out, the softer it will look. Just kind of that like windshield wiper motion back and forth. All right, you make it look so, it is easy. I mean, it's all practice, obviously, but using less product, like when I used to use shadow that was from the drugstore, I would literally be going back and forth, just trying to get the color on my face and keep it off. But you can see I don't have any fallout on underneath my eyes because there's not the need for that much product. I literally touch it once and we're good. All right, so now I'm going to use Manipulative, which is one of my favorite metallics. And I'm going to, you know what, I'm going to use the same brush for ease of use. I'm just going to touch it to that and I'm going to just tickle this over my lid. And that's just going to add a little bit of like an orangey sort of copper warmth. And a little bit of like a metallic. But it'll also sort of go with the shirt that I'm wearing. Which, by the way, was supposed to be pink when I ordered it from Amazon. So go figure, because it's definitely orange. All right, so that just like warmed it up a little bit, helped to blend it in. I don't love a ton of metallic on my eye. I just kind of like a little bit to peek through. I find that wearing too much metallic and you sort of look like a teenage girl. And while I'd love to look like a teenager in a lot of different ways, my eye makeup is not one of them, ever. All right, so now we're gonna go in with Epic Mascara, Black Epic, and I'm gonna do 2 coats of Epic. The first coat sort of acts like a primer, and I get a really good coating from the root of my lashes all the way to the ends. And I try to pay particular attention to like the outside of my lashes here because I feel like the longer and fuller that they look, the bigger my eyes look. happens. Okay, and then we're gonna do the second coat. I can't tell if that's Chase talking or my mom. Alright, so second coat is going to be from the root up, and I kind of just grab the lashes and then wiggle them back and forth. And that's going to lengthen and separate. Two coats really does make a huge difference when you're applying, especially if you're not using a lash primer. And then I'm going to use whatever is left over on the wand to do my lower lashes. Because they are very, very, very blonde. Go figure. All right, what a difference mascara makes. Brow Obsession Kit. If you have sparse brows, if you have light brows, if you just want to, you know, kind of reshape them a little bit, this is my favorite tool for doing that. So I use the Brunette Obsession palette, or the Brow Obsession palette in Brunette, and I use the Brow Artist brush. And I just am able to sort of redefine my brows and make the perfect shade of brow color using the powders that are in there. And the first thing I do is just go in and do a bottom line and then the top line. And this sort of creates the shape of the brows that I want to stay within. And I kind of add a little bit of an extra arch by incorporating all of, thank you Margie, by incorporating all of the little baby hairs that exist right on the top of your brows. And then I slowly fill in, starting at the arch, back towards the tail, because this is naturally going to be the darkest and thickest part of your brow from here back. And then I use whatever's left over on my brush to just kind of fade in the front so that it looks natural and soft. Because the front of your brow is going to be what grows in the softest and the lightest. So you can see I was able to accomplish all that without going in and getting tons and tons and tons of product. What I like about the brow palette is that I have a little bit more flexibility than if I was just using a brow pencil, which is sort of like a one-trick pony. I feel like you're getting one color note the whole time, you're getting one sort of pressure, you're getting all of those things in one dimension, and you can't really go in and manipulate that as much as you can with a palette. I've also been using this palette for over a year now, and there's still so much more to use. So I feel like this $40 investment paid off in spades. If you're somebody who likes to do their brows, you'll save so much money using this method. Okay. And then filling in. And fading in. So fill and then fade. You can always grab a little bit of extra product and add if anything looks kind of sparse or a little bit lighter than you want it to. But I kind of like to just see where I'm at with what's already on my eye before I go and add more. just a little bit more powder in the front. Okay. So eyebrows are done. PTL. All right, so now a little bit of highlighter. So this is iridescent. This is one of my favorites. It is just a prismatic white, and I add it right to the top of my cheekbone. It gives me a really nice glow. It also blends in your blush really nicely. And then right on the top of my brow arch, down my nose, and on my Cupid's bow. Okay, so let's see, lips today. I'm going to do a pretty soft lip, so I'm actually going to use an eyeliner for my lip line, which is Prim. I like it because it doesn't have pink in it, it just has this like light brown color. So I'm actually going to, I have lip oil on right now for a moisturizer. And I'm just going to wipe that off, because lip stuff truly does go on best when you have nothing else on your lips. So Prim eyeliner, and just gently lining my lips. I try to be careful not to overline too much, and if you do want to overline, which means going on the underside of your lip, only do it in the center. All right, so granted, yes, this looks dark. This looks like something the Real Housewives would make fun of, but I'm just going to take my finger and blend it in a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to take Sparkling Splash Liquid Lipstick, which is one of my favorite super pale nudes. Do you do recommendations? Of course I do. You tell me what you're looking for, you send me a selfie in good lighting, and I tell you what I would recommend. What I like about these in terms of an applicator is that it gives me the ability to blend really easily. Grandma's here. All right. So sparkling is added. And then for a little bit of glow, I'm going to add Lucrative Liquid Lip Gloss. This is in the shade Lovesick. And I just love this because it adds a little bit of warmth and a little bit of gloss. These children, these children.
Yeah, that's right. You better lock yourself in there.
Chase. I don't know what I did to deserve two boys, but I did something to somebody. All right, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the concealer that I have left on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in and just do a very simple sort of matte highlight under my brow. And that's also going to clean up my brow and make that line underneath there perfect. Like so. Boys are the best. Margie, you totally get it. You're a fellow boy mom. Before you could even bitch on the internet about what that was. And now I have all of my other boy moms to commiserate with. All right, and now, because I want a little extra glow, what I'm going to do is go in with my Younique Royalty Rose Water. And I'm going to set my makeup with rose water today. This is the end of it. Hold on, I have another one. Our brand new rose water comes in 2 sizes now. I have to get down there. My poor mother. Okay, so rose water is a good way of setting your makeup if you want extra hydration and glow in your skin. So obviously I look wet because I just doused my skin with it. But all right, well, I'm gonna go rescue my mom. I don't know what she's doing here. Oh, she's taking Dylan to Target to get a Ryan's Toy Review squishy because that's what he wanted and because he is now diaper free at night. So as a reward for that, as grandparents do, he's getting a treat. So today is treat day for Dylan. But I will take an unfiltered selfie. Having worked on my teeth, we'll get back to you. Sounds good, Margie. Just shoot me a message anytime. Whatchamacallit. So I'll take an unfiltered selfie and I'll post all the products that I used here today so that if you want to shop along, you can. If you have any questions about products I used or what would be good for you, just shoot me a message and I will answer you right away. So everybody have a great day and I will see you tomorrow for another live.